Congratulations on your hole-in-one.
Well, thanks a lot.
All right.
Going to repeat today.
Repeat today. What hole was it on again?
It was hole number 3.
And you said you didn't notice it going in. What did your teammates all confirm?
Well, yeah, you know, our opponents and my teammate all thought there was a good chance, but never occurred to me.
All right, congratulations. So you guys are got the big team of Jellenwood and Doc here, huh? What do you think today?
Well, we were hoping for Dunsey, but now we got Jellenwood, so I know Dunsey loves
we don't stand
the
a
next
chance.
course.
He's good. Talking about a brand new shaft and everything else.
Uh-oh. You got your shaft reshafted?
Yeah, I got a stiff one.
Brand new shaft in my driver.
I got a stiff shaft now.
Ooh, good for you.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to Mulligan's Island. I'm Dunsey.
And I'm Gags. We missed you, Mike.
Yeah, I had a nice little trip up to the upper part of the upper part of the state, up to near Traverse City. Went to Empire and Agaming and had a really good time.
Good, good. Well, we tried to hold the fort down for you, and hopefully we won't disappoint when you see everything that comes through today.
Great. You're looking pretty sharp today.
We're sort of looking like the Daves.
Yeah. What are we? Well, we can't be the Jims or the Mikes, so we're just the Mulligan's Island crew.
There you go.
And the more we hang out, the more we tend to look alike, I guess.
All right. Mike, we had some interesting things happen this past week, along with a great weather day. Without any further ado, let's get into it. You were gone, and your team suffered a little bit.
Boy, I'm telling you.
You even kind of questioned the guy that entered the scores that I enter them right because you fell so far, but go ahead.
How did we lose that badly?
I don't know. Got beat. Got whooped.
Anyway, of course, Florio and Mundros are still on top. Here, let me give you that.
Same thing.
316 points. They've extended their lead to 35 points now.
All right. So how's the true battle for second going?
The battle for second has Baldwin and Hill in that second spot with 281.
Nice job, boys.
Waite and Ward, who crushed us, have moved into third at 274. We have a tie for fourth place between Birchler, Kapler, and Bonder Sarabian at 272.
Who had to play as a no-show. Mr. Bonder did not get a sub.
That's true. So you guys have dropped to sixth place.
Yeah, because of
267.
Who I got beat badly. Story to follow.
Ellenwood Crutcher, and welcome back, Jack.
Good job.
Are in seventh, only 1 point behind you guys. So watch your
they'll overtake us next week. Yep.
And then we have a four-way tie for eighth place. Musson Van Horn, Sinagra Stella, Dozy Morano, and Brunk Miller, all with 262 points, tied for fourth. Only three of those can be in the top 10.
Right, and that battle for second is just bunching up with, I don't know, what do we got, 6-7 weeks to go, Mike?
Yep.
All right, man, it's on. Get that trophy for second.
And, of course, at the bottom of the stack, nothing ever changes. Bats and Lynn still in 20th, Joy and Keskis in 21st, and Doc Bears and Sammy in that 22nd place, still trying to get to 200 points for the year.
Yeah,
They're only at 195.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. I look for the big comeback in the last 6 weeks here. I think they can do it. Well, just before their big match this week, Mike, I got a chance to catch up with Mark Baldwin and the Daves. Yeah, take it away, boys. So you play the Daves, huh?
Daves, yeah.
All right.
Fred gives 14, I give 9.
Any comment, boys?
What?
Something about they're just conversation about how many strokes they have to give you.
Oh, they want to
They're
give us.
getting off easy.
Did they want to give us
earlier in
more?
the year.
Fred, you want to give them more?
The shirts.
We're a team. Yeah.
A day.
Jackie Chance.
Fell backwards.
They're back. So, as you may have realized, hopefully realized, our production has gotten better and better as the weeks have gone on. That is due to the fact that we spent some considerable amount of money to put together lighting and backdrops and microphones and all of that kind of stuff.
Right.
Luckily, we have got some reimbursement on that. You want to tell them about it, Jim?
Well, Fred Hill last week, you know, he was our guest interviewer.
Yes.
He made a comment that maybe we should ask for some sponsorship to help offset the cost. So we had 4 people step up and offer some money to help us offset the cost. Mike, and who were they?
They were Fred Hill himself,
Fred Hill,
Fred Brunk, Pat
Fred,
O'Neill,
thank you. Way to go, Neil.
and Jim Scheibel.
Scheiber.
So thank you guys for your contribution. It certainly makes it a little less painful for Jim and I
Right.
in the wallet.
In the wallets. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate
We
it.
do appreciate it. So it's time for this week's dilemma.
All right, Mike, here's what we got. So we gather a foursome, you, me, JVH, maybe Fred Hill. And we're going to go out and play a course that mimics the Island Green at TPC Sawgrass.
Oh,
We
yeah.
all know that one, right?
I'd like to play that. Yeah, that'd be fun.
But unfortunately, we don't have access to that course. So we find a course like that. Now, we get up to the tee box.
Right.
You teed up your ball.
Got it?
All right, he takes a good hearty swing. Ball goes in the air, but it's going left, and you say to yourself, going in the water. But in your disgust, you turn around and your friends
I
are
don't even
going,
wanna see it.
yeah, your friends go, great shot. And you go,
What?
well, what happened in flight as it's going towards the water, Mike turns his head, the ball hits a bird.
Really?
Deflects, yeah. Lands on the green, 2 feet from the hole. You're cheering,
Yes. What a good shot.
but everybody else in the foursome's like, hey, time out. Is that legal?
Is it?
We're going to find out. We'll be back with the finish of the dilemma. The weather conditions were pretty good for the lakes. There was some low scores, but the lakes will take you in, chew you up, and spit you out. So
And it did again.
it did again. But we did have some folks that played really well in the lakes. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, only 2 people were able to break 40.
My bad. 2.
Marty Rapson and Doug Ward each shot 39. So barely breaking 40.
Tough course.
Bob Waite shot 41.
Waiter.
Andy Corby, the sub, who still owes us money,
Yeah, you owe us some money.
shot 42, and Jeff Sarabian shot 42, luckily, since he didn't have a partner.
He had a no-show.
He had to get some points by himself.
Yep.
So those were the low gross scores. On the low net side, Eldon Johnson had a net 32 yesterday. Good job, Eldon. He was the low net of the day. Scott Kapler was net 35.
Wait. That name. Why does that name strike a bell? Oh, he beat me down. Oh,
Well, he shot a net par.
he did. Scott, you played extremely well. Great playing. Man. But why? Get it? Why?
Yeah, that's the way it works.
Jeez, oh, Pete's. Go ahead, Mike.
Andy
Finish it.
Corby, the guy that owes,
He owes money.
he shot net 35. Marty Rapson net 35, and Doug Ward net 35. So
Wardo.
only 5 people that were net par or better.
Wow. Boy,
The Lakes.
it chews you up. I'll tell you that.
So, how did your you told me you had a strategy for the long par 3, hole number 5.
Number 5, yeah,
with the
strategy.
water on the left and all.
Right. So my strategy has been to see how well I'm hitting the ball off the tee, which normally is not very good, by the way. I decided I'm going to lay up, then chip on, one putt, get my par,
There
right?
you go. It's a good strategy.
All right. Tee it up, take out the trusty layup club, whack!
Yeah.
Guess what happened to it, Mike?
Water.
Yeah. All of a sudden, my draw showed up, and it went splash!
You know, if you take a shorter club, so that even if you hook it, it doesn't make it to the water.
So I have to fix my strategy.
Then it's a long chip, though.
3 weeks from now, stay tuned for the second new strategy on the Lakes number 5. By the way, it didn't work. I didn't get my par, and Scott Kapler beat me again. So, good job, Scott.
That's the way it works.
All right, back we come after scores.
Talking scores. So.
Yeah, it's time for the Hacker of the Week. Take it away, Mike.
Fred Brunk, one of our sponsors. Thank you, Fred.
Thank you, Fred.
But boy, did you not get repaid by the golf gods. Fred shot 64 yesterday on the links. 64.
Freddie.
Which gave him a net 49. I think that might be the highest net of the year.
Freddie, what was going on, man?
Something was broken, and it apparently was your golf game.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll return and probably be, low net next
Oh,
month.
I'm sure. Yeah, that's usually how those things go. All right, pick it back up, Freddie. Mike, unlike my match, ours wasn't close, but we did have some close matches out there. And even though one of the participants was on vacation, that match turned out pretty close, surprisingly.
Yeah, Musson and Van Horn, even though Mr. Van Horn was in South Carolina, I believe. So it was Warren Musson and Chuck Lang, and they beat Ellenwood and the return of Jack Krucher in the smallest of margins, 21-19. A very close match, very interesting.
That's close.
Some matches are close, but some are not.
No, it's the other end of the
which
not
kind
so
of brings
close.
us to the
Your team was part of that. Yeah.
part of the
beatdown of the week.
That's right. There were 2 beatdowns of the week that were totally equal.
Yep. Dual beatdowns.
Baldwin and Hill beat down the Days.
The Days. Oh, and man,
29-11.
and they were looking sharp on the first tee.
Yeah,
you should
they
have
were
seen
ready.
them. Oh wow, they were awesome. But
Well, I thought I pulled a slick one by getting out of town for the Lakes and bringing in a ringer sub, Jeff Ellenwood.
how'd that work out?
Wade and Ward beat down Mr. Bartnicki and Ellenwood.
Oh boy,
29-11.
Oh, boy.
Same thing.
See, your strategy didn't work either.
No, my strategy dropped us into like 15th place.
Yeah,
or
there was
something.
question that maybe somebody entered the scores wrong for the
Well, I
sudden.
just couldn't believe we could possibly lose by that much. Unbelievable.
Well, the computer doesn't lie, Mike.
The computer doesn't lie.
We're back with the answer to the dilemma. If you recall, Mike hit a shot to an island green that he thought was
In the water.
in the water, but hit a bird, landed on the green. He cheers, we question, Mike the answer.
The answer is that according to the USGA Rule 18-1, because the ball was moved by an outside agent, there is no penalty. 2 feet from the pin, grab the putter, tap it in, and tell the worst dad joke of the day. So does that count for 2 birdies?
All right, boys, that's the ruling of the day. Enjoy. All right, Mike, let's hand out some money. For this week, we're going to the Wardo pool first.
The Wardo pool, non-handicapped skins. We had 3 of them yesterday. Hole number 2, Jeff Ellenwood got $18. Hole number 3, Marty Rapson got $19. Hole number 9, Doug Ward, $18. Now notice, they got different amounts.
Oh,
So apparently Dougie learned something when Marty ran the Wardo pool last week.
word got back.
Gave the extra $1 to the guy that got the skin on the hardest hole. Wasn't that easy, Doug? Way to go.
Attaboy. We've handed out Wardo's money. It's time to hand out Johnny's money, J-Mo,
Yep.
and the Sheeny pool. Take it away, Michael.
The Sheeny pool, hole number 1, Warren Musson, good Warren, wins $30 with the carryover from last week, so congratulations, Warren. Hole number 2, Mark Dozy gets a 1-hole Sheeny payout of $10.
$10, that's it. Ha ha.
And guess what? That's all there were. $70 carryover to next week, boys. Number 1 on the hills is worth at least $80. So sharpen up your games and be ready.
Well, that brings us to the end of this week's vlog. We hope you loved this edition. I'm Gags.
And I'm Dunsey. And we're done. And remember, in the words of professional bowler Don Carter, one of the big advantages bowling has over golf is you hardly ever lose a bowling ball.
Well, we hope you like this edition. Don't forget to subscribe to the blog.
Stay tuned for more Mulligan's Island, and good night, John Felino.
Welcome back, Jack.